TV today. We are the Wildflowers from the Women's Wellness Network, and we are part of the Catapult Games. This is our second event of the day, and well, I have two lovely warriors with me here. Our lovely warriors? No, wildflowers. I like wildflowers much better than warriors. So welcome here, Yaz. Welcome here, Lori. Thank you for coming again this evening. And I don't know what happened to our other participant, Shannon. She was all set to come and she was having some computer technical difficulties. So maybe she'll join us, maybe she won't. Hopefully she does. So until then, we'll just continue on our way. And since we were, this morning we were picking up on community and camaraderie and kind of what games are about and coming together, the traditions of that, whether, you know, the old Olympic traditions or today, well, thousands and thousands of years of traditions still being carried on by Indigenous people around the world, having their own ceremonies and cultural events that they host and enjoy and bring all their community in together. So I think this is kind of a nice thing for us too, us wildflowers, getting together, building community, even here with you folks at ENTV today, because, you know, we're kind of like-minded and why not grow together, right? We bring something to each other and yeah, you never know what we can share with one another. So welcome in everybody. And I guess let today's games begin again. So first of all, I need to light this candle. So this is our most important thing for this moment is setting that intention to unify us and collaborate and communicate well, and that everything that is said here tonight that is brought out is something that we need to share, or it's something that somebody needs to hear. So whoever's listening, hopefully you'll find something interesting, or maybe you get to play along. Go ahead, join in with us, because, you know, we've got some fun stuff. A little bit of meditation, a little bit of secret card pulling, storytelling, all those kinds of fun things. So let's begin. Are you ladies ready? Yaz, you ready? Lori? All right.
Ready.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so for now, I think we're just going to start off again with our, just going to take a couple deep breaths and not necessarily the meditation part yet, but just, you know, feel ourselves present, make sure our feet are on the ground and we feel like we're in our bodies, connecting with our heart and really feeling present for everybody that's watching or who might be watching in the future, for ourselves and for each other. So thank you. And here we go. Okay. Community and connection, of course, we have to do with our storytelling. Myths and legends and all those kinds of things that are kind of fun when you're growing up and you're learning about, you know, different parables, different ways of learning, like even religious teachings, you know, show us different stories and past things that we could use. Maybe we could use today. Maybe we can pick up. Maybe there's something that we learned when we were little and we forgot about. So always I don't want to say rehashing, it seems terrible. That's not really it. It's like re-energizing it and bringing it back to the forefront of our mind. And I know as we grow up, it's really easy to forget about the play and to forget about the fun and the imagination. And Yaz, she's an imagination coach. So using that all the time and probably helping, you know, other people discover their own stories. And yeah, I really love connecting to the stories that I sort of had a little thread throughout my lifetime and seeing them play out, because a lot of them have played out on the real stage here within my life. So let's go ahead and ask the ladies, and I want you guys who are watching to think about that too. Like, think about your stories that you loved when you were young. And if you really connect to any of them, do any of them still inspire you? Do any of them still come up in that moment when you're feeling a certain way? Go ahead and put it in the chat if you think about what that might be. So I'm going to ask these lovely ladies. Let's see, Lori, I think it's your turn to go first today. So how about you? Do you have a special story or some kind of legend or myth that you think about in your lifetime that has really resonated with you?
Most of, I guess most of my experience, well, I could use a story. I could tell you a story. I don't really have many legends or myths, but something very special to me growing up was bedtime. And my dad would tuck me in every night. And he has a very, I guess I get a lot of my creativity from him. He has a very creative mind and was kind of the class clown growing up. So he was always, stirring up funny things. And so he came up with a story that he would tell me at bedtime, and it was about three triplet hippopotamus baby boys. And yeah, so very, very fun. And so I went on to, when I grew up, I went on to tell my kids the same stories. So what he would do and what I would do with my kids is just kind of make it up as you go along according to which child you were telling the story to. So like if my son was in soccer, they would be going to, a soccer game, or if, my daughter was in ballet, so it was just a fun tradition that just seemed to like organically pass its way down through to me and then through me to my kids. And I went ahead and wrote a book about it. And I'm hoping to publish it. I've got it written and illustrated, and I just need to pull the plug on it and get it out there. But it's really just to honor my dad. And it's a really fun children's story, because at the end you get tickled. So
Fun. Oh, that's lovely.
yeah,
That's really nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope you do publish that. That's like that would be inspirational for other parents. I know I used to read to my children also. My mom used to read to me. So yeah, so special times, and that it was a story that could morph and evolve and be whatever it was needed to be in the moment. Now that's true creativity and storytelling at its best, because you got to be right there. You got to be connected. You got to be in the know, right? Okay, yes. How about you? You have a story that you connect with in your life?
I Lion King comes to mind
Oh,
because I was kind of like cast out, But while I was cast out, you go for that phase where you just so like blue, like how Timon and Pumbaa described, like that's like Simba looks blue. No, he's golden brown. But like that I just but then Simba was given a new like outlook on life, a new perspective, and he had fun in the jungle. Okay, he didn't really like eating the worms, and there's some things that you don't like, but then you readapt. You I don't know, morph into a new character, and you play that character really well. And like it happens throughout life, and sometimes we don't realize that. But like when you put yourself in a situation like school or college or a job or the supermarket, you become all these different characters. And yeah, like so I just like the whenever I see like Shenzi and the other two hyenas, like me and the kids, we used to change the characters into people, like people, real people. I won't say them out loud just in case they're watching. We always made the characters into people, and it made them more real. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it wasn't always in a mean way. It was in like a playful, fun, awesome. Like you get where people pop up and they play these roles in your life all the time. Somebody plays Shenzi in your life, and somebody plays Pumbaa, and in everyone's life there's only so much characters. There's only so many scenarios.
so true. Oh my goodness. Yes, so very true. I connect with that too because of Scar and because my name's Scarlet. So I'm always like working these things into different legends and stories and myths and fairy tales and things that I've heard over my lifetime. What could that mean for me? How does that work in my world? Like even this background sitting here. So The Wizard of Oz has been, I liked The Wizard of Oz when I was younger, but it just kept being a little theme. Something would always come up that was, didn't really fit. It was this like, wait a second, this sounds like The Wizard of Oz. Why is this in my life? It's very interesting, right? So like the flowers behind me, thinking of, looking at the sky, laying in the poppies, and like that sort of thing. The Wicked Witch, I had one of those in my life, right? So these characters that, you, as Yaz said, you put the characters that are on the stage of your life, you fit them into the story in the ways that they work. And especially when the story ends up in a good way in the end for yourself, so that if the character is a little bit, nasty, then they'll be taken care of in the end. And I think that's it's always good to have a good ending to the story. We need morals, we need parables, we need those things that give us the lessons, but dang, we definitely still need the ones that have the happy endings, because we got to have some good stuff to look forward to. And yeah, thank you for sharing those things. That's really fun, very fun. Let me see, I was going to say something else about a story that, oh no, it was about the Wizard of Oz. I met a man one time, this wonderful teacher, Gabor Mate, and while we're chatting, he says to me, I had short hair then, "You remind me of Liza Minnelli." I'm like, what? Okay, well, just think about that, because she's the daughter of Judy Garland, who played Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, right? So there's just things like that throughout my lifetime, which seem super interesting. So I think if you, give it a little more thought sometimes, you'll realize these things are happening. They're just little keys, little clues, little signs, synchronicities, right, throughout our lives, which is very fun. I think it's very fun. Okay, so I still see no Shannon. I'm sorry that Shannon could not be here. I feel bad for Shannon. She was here, and then everything went crazy. So, okay, next, now, we are going to do a little card game again, like we did earlier today. If anybody caught our first event this morning, we were doing spirit animals and campfire and our pet, and we'll be working again with that tomorrow morning. So I have some other cards here. They are called Beneath the Moon: Fairy Tales, Myths, and Divine Stories from Around the World. So super interesting. Again, I love cards to contemplate. So if I was happening to use this one, I would, again, put myself into the story and try and figure out, where does it apply in my life? Where is it hitting? Where is it, where is it landing? Is there a lesson that I need to look at? And 9 times out of 10, there's something that needs attention. So, okay, Yaz, did you go first last time? I think so.
I did. It's Laurie's turn.
Okay, Laurie, your card, here it comes. Ooh, look at this one. This is the 10 of Swords. Let's see if I can get closer.
Wow.
Oh, disappearing. The 10 of Swords. Now, every card has like a positive and a negative. Every card has a, an underlying something that says, "Ooh, look here." But I know 10 of Swords is also the end of something that's thoughts that are plaguing us. So you don't have to think that. Whatever it's been bothering you, that's you've been thinking about, maybe that just says you don't have to think about it anymore. That would be nice, right? Oh, look at this one. This one, oh my goodness. You see that one? That is the 8 of Swords. Okay. That's different, right? Okay, Laurie. Let me find your card. This sometimes is a lot more difficult than I was anticipating. There's too many books, too many ways to go, ways to look. Okay. Our thoughts are moving through our thoughts. Okay, what do we have here? I better wear my glasses this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I wonder if you pronounce it Sedna or Sedna. Sedna. It's Canadian and it's an Inuit myth. So the Ten of Swords represents backstabbing and betrayal. Ooh. Sedna's father pushes her from his kayak. Oh, and you're just talking about your lovely father too. And
No.
right? So the upright. Oh, here we go. This is probably where we're going. Surviving disaster, recovery, regeneration, and the inevitable. Now that sounds like you're on a new path. You're on a new mission. You've got a new purpose. You've got a new, right? The 10 ends something and you move forward with something else. That's very
That
positive.
sounds right.
Yeah, right? The end of, yes, because I know you're going on an adventure soon. So,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing too, right? Off on a new adventure. You can leave
Yep.
the old behind and become a new Lori. Oh, fun. Not that there's anything wrong with the Lori that you are, because you're wonderful. But I know you're growing and you're blooming and
Yes,
blossoming. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yours is Donkey Skin. It's from France. It's a French fairy tale. And it represents being caught up in your own insecurities. Ooh, these are both like really deep looking into ourselves. So this would represent freedom, new perspectives, taking a stand, strength, and healing. So those are pretty lovely things, I think, with our own stories and how they blend with that, with the wisdom that's there. Our stories, our own stories that we tell ourselves, that we make up for ourselves, that we, even when their stories aren't good and we want them to be better, we want them to be exciting and interesting. And well, sometimes they're a little bit more on the, right, on the lesson side, on the side where we need to really come back into our heart and look at ourselves and say, hey, is that going on with me? Is there something that I can do better? Is there something that I can, heart, show me, let me feel what it is that I need to know. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little heart meditation and around our stories, our own stories that we tell ourselves, and we're just going to let those stories go and allow whatever it is that wants to be shared right now. And you don't have to share it with us if you don't want to, because it could be very personal. It could be very startling. It could be something that's, you haven't thought of in a while, or who knows, right? Like it's just whatever needs to be released. Let's honor that and allow it to just come up for us. So if you would like to get comfortable and put your feet on the floor. And we're gonna,
well, Tammy,
yes.
you're gonna get a card. Are you gonna get a card?
Oh, for me.
Are you gonna get
I do that every time. That's so funny, right?
Don't
Oh
forget
my.
about you.
I'd always forget about me. I know. Okay, mine is the Knight of Swords. So all of us had swords. That's also very interesting. Right?
Well, we're in the catapult games, so.
Right? Yeah. Right? Don your sword. Okay, let me see. Where are we? At least I remembered to put my glasses on. Okay. Hang Tao, Malaysian legend. The King of Swords is strong and assertive warrior. Ooh, warrior. Okay. Oh, let's see. Intellect, bravery, confidence, being action-oriented. But on the other side of that, there's rudeness, bullying, an inferior complex, and passivity. So those could be all things too, right? Especially if you can't go into battle as a warrior if you're, don't have your head in the game, if you don't have your heart in the right place. Hopefully we're not going into those kinds of battles anymore in our lives, even out in the world. Hopefully that's, coming to an end. too much suffering, too much strife and hardship out there. And, I think it just takes us to each individually look at ourselves, look at our stories, look at what we're bringing and why we're bringing it and what it might mean in the with the whole process of the thing. So are you up for it? Should we do it? Should we see what we see? Because we're gonna work these things together. We're gonna take the donkey skin 8 of swords, and we're gonna take the king with his 10 of swords, with the father with his 10 of swords, and the knight with his 10 of swords, and let's see where we go. Okay, all right. Everybody just sit back and take a deep breath. Keep your feet on the ground, stay centered in your chair, in your heart, in your head. Connect in with your heart. Really feel that heart space. Our stories, our most lovely and wonderful stories that we've just shared with each other. Our fairy tales, our story time, our precious moments around the stories that, were told to us, that we've learned, we've listened to over time. And then on the other side, our cards that we just received, giving us the more, let's say, cutting side of storytelling. The side, as everything does have 2 sides to every story. There's always something underneath. There's something that needs to be worked with, released, let go. Even when it's a good story, when it's a positive story, there might be something we're holding on to that we no longer need to carry. So 3 of us here, we're going to walk a little ways together. We're going to start on a little path that opens up into a big meadow. And here we are, the 3 of us with our swords, walking into the meadow where everything is open and calm and peaceful. And the day is sunny and the sky is blue. The grass is green and all around us feels warm, and the air is filled with twinkling static and sparkles. The sunlight is glinting off of every little thing, every little piece of dust, every piece of pollen, every small bug that's flying around. And we walk to the middle of the meadow. And as we get there, we all know we're ready to lay down our swords. And we put them in the middle of the meadow and take a big stretch up into the sky and a big sigh of relief where we put down things that were heavy for us to carry, that we no longer need to carry. And we leave the swords there in the meadow and we turn to walk back. Maybe our arms are linked and we're humming and we're happy and the birds are singing and the bees are buzzing and we see our little gateway to go through back to our path. And as we step back on the path, we realize we are lighter. We've come back to ourselves. We've let go of the things we no longer need. And a little bit of that sunlight and that magic dust that's floating around is now in our hair. It's laid out on the path before us. It is all around us, and everything that we have to carry going forward will be light and loving and kind. And our stories that we can release and let go of will stay there in the meadow as we take the rest of our journey and go on to create some more stories for ourselves. And as we say goodbye to each other, we know we are better for being together. And we part ways and go off to live and experience our own journey Now take another deep breath into your heart center and feel the joy and the spaciousness that's there, having had let go of the things we no longer need. And now we can allow the things that are meant for us. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Oh, so,
Yeah, that was easy.
oh, okay. Well, let me ask you, is there anything you would like to share about the meditation, Lori? Or about the card you received or any of that stuff altogether?
Well, definitely putting hardships behind was resonated with me. I liked that we walked together into the meadow and laid our things down. And then I like how you said link arms on the way back. I don't know if that was intentional, if it just came to you, but yeah, I really enjoy that imagining the walking to the meadow and all of the different details of like you said, the sparkles and the tiny insects and all of that. It's a really cool experience to go through. So thank you for leading us through that.
Awesome. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Yes, what about
Yeah.
you? How do you feel about your Eight of Swords card and your journey into the meadow?
The Eight of Swords card. I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool, you know. And the caught up insecurity, because sometimes we think we've made it, like, you know, we think we're so confident, we're doing so well, you know, but then like something happened today and it really made me question everything, you know, like, did I get it right? Did I, you know? And then I looked on the internet just to check, and like I was right, you know. And you know, I don't know, it just made me feel, oh gosh, you know. But when I found out I was right, it still wasn't a nice feeling, you know. So we're never really satisfied, do we? You know, like whether we're right or wrong, it's just really, it just made me feel like, you know, like I don't know, like I'll adapt. It'll just take a minute, but I think that's what it meant by it feeling insecure. It's like, you know, like I'd rather hover between right and wrong than pick one, because it's like, I know, the yellow brick road, isn't it? It's like it's yeah. But they all came with me. They were all at the meadow with us, you know, and Simba and Timon and Mufasa and what's the guy? Rafiki. Yeah, they all came, and the Tin Man wanted to melt the swords down to make a nice, you know, a nice friend for himself, you know, and he just kept on looking back as if to say, you know, but yeah, it was really nice. Thank you.
Fun, fun. You're welcome. Thank you. That was, yeah, interesting. Just a little different, right? Just do something a little different, get some different perspectives. And even, you know, going through those things about the things that might be a little more negative and a little more, you know, make us trigger, like little triggering things and things that make us stop and think, because those still happen throughout the day. You know, we go along being warriors and plowing through and just making do all the time. But sometimes, you know, we need a little sunshine, we need a little water, we need a little rest, and we have to be able to, you know, allow the things that are not so pleasant all the time and just go with it, right? Like, what was mine? What did it say? Rudeness, bullying, an inferiority complex, and passivity. So yeah, for me, yeah, the thing that jumped out there was the inferiority complex, because sometimes I think, who am I? Who am I to be sitting here doing this, talking to who knows how many people in this moment or in the future, right? Like, who knows what that might be. So we can't carry that stuff. We can't. I don't want to embody that. So right away, I just release it. It doesn't belong to me. It's, you know, if I have a little bit of work to still do on that, then that's what I'll do. That's okay. We can do that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, I guess our lovely Shannon is not going to be making her way here today. So I think we're just going to call it an evening and think about our own little stories that we want to tell ourselves this evening. And yeah, if there's anything still, you at home also that might be watching. If there's, oh, I didn't pull a card for the collective. We better do that. One moment. Let's do that. That's important too. Look what they got. Ace of Swords.
Wow.
The
All the
Ace of
swords.
Swords, all swords, right? So Ace of Swords to me is the truth card. So that's very interesting. So let's just see for you, so those of you who might be playing along. What is it? It says, Tammy, put your glasses on. That's what it says every time. It is the Gordian knot. It's from Turkey and it is a Greek legend. The Ace of Swords represents a sudden burst of inspiration and new projects, truth, assertiveness, creative thinking, and clarity. So maybe this is the moment that, you know, some people have been watching, they've been listening to us talk about our stories. Maybe now they're going to think about their stories. So yes, you at home, if you're thinking about, you know, your own story, what's true for you? What still are you carrying with you that maybe doesn't serve you anymore, that you're ready to put down and let go of, and to, since it's a new moon, manifest something new into your life. And tonight's the perfect night to do that. So if you're thinking about bringing in some new ways and some, you know, some great things that you want to have in your future, maybe light a candle, maybe set an intention, just meditate on it, even if you're not too sure what that might be. And yeah, put it in the chat, in the comments, come back and let us know what you discovered, if anything at all. Whatever you feel like sharing, we would love to hear, because we look at these comments now and also in the future. So thank you everybody for watching, and I guess until tomorrow, tomorrow 10 a.m. we'll be back. Be well. And ladies, thank you so much for coming tonight. It was a pleasure and very fun and interesting to just explore something a little different with you ladies. And again, learning so much more about you. And thank you so much for being our lovely wildflowers.
Thank you, Tammy.